Builder! What is this? This is the Hollyland Lark M2. How much does it cost? Anywhere from $110 to $180 depending on which receiver kit you get. You can get either the USB-C, Apple Lightning, 3.5mm, or get all three. The microphone weighs about 9 grams and is about the size of a quarter, making it light enough to not bounce around on your shirt like other clip-on mics. Comes in black or white, battery life at just under 10 hours. Don't like the logo up front? Use the included stickers to block it. Want to be more discreet? Put the microphone underneath your shirt. Your shirt will basically act like a wind muff. It's got built-in noise cancellation. How does it sound against other competing brands? This is a test of the Hollyland Lark M2. This is a test of the Rode Wireless Me. This is a test of the DJI Mic 2. For those of you wondering, no, there's no internal recording. Do I recommend it? 100% yes. If you're just starting out with either filming at home or out and about, this mic is extremely easy to use, easy to take with you, and it won't break your bank. Done. Roll that intro. Hey, what's going on everybody? Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker here, where the answers come first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. Today we're going to be looking at the Hollyland Lark M2, which is a super small microphone that uses a versatile magnet mounting system. And honestly, I haven't had this much fun with a microphone in a long time. Mainly just because of how small this microphone actually is. It's about the size of a quarter, comes in at 9 pounds, and because it's so light, you can basically attach it to your shirt magnetically, and it's not going to flop around when you happen to be running like other clip-on mics that are quite bulky, chunky, and heavy. Now, even though these transmitters are quite small, the battery life actually outlasts most of the competition. The transmitters themselves come in at less than 10 hours, just shy of it, and the traditional camera receiver has just under 9 hours. Now, if you're primarily shooting on a smartphone, the receivers do not have their own battery life. In fact, once you plug it into the phone, it will draw power from the phone itself. And you might be saying, well, that seems like a con because that means I can't charge my phone. That's where the surprise comes in. The receiver does have a USB-C pass-through charging port, meaning, yes, you can charge your phone while using this system. For those of you that are wondering, yes, the USB-C receiver can be used as a USB microphone, meaning you can just plug it into your computer and use it as a wireless microphone for phone calls or voiceovers. And cameras like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and Action 4, they also have this USB protocol, meaning, yes, you can just plug this receiver into the camera and it will work. Here are some examples. And if you want to have an idea of what it sounds like going into my Osmo Action 4, this is the Hollyland Lark M2 going straight in with a USB-C adapter. And this is also a test of it going straight into my Osmo Pocket 3. This is what the Hollyland Lark M sounds like going straight in with the USB-C receiver. For solo vloggers, this is where it gets really fun, specifically if you are using the smartphone receivers. So if each transmitter can last under 10 hours, what I can do is I can leave this transmitter on the entire time, even if I'm not recording. And then after about 9 hours, I'll simply switch it out for the fresh one that's inside this charging case. So my transmitter number 2 is now going to go for another 9 hours while the other one is charging. And it only takes 2 hours to charge. So essentially, I can go the entire day without ever having to worry about battery life or turning the transmitter off. I can literally record and have audio at any given time. One last feature that's only for smartphones is you can actually trigger the record button simply by tapping the button on your transmitter twice in quick succession. And yes, it does work with your Blackmagic camera app. You just want to make sure you have the use volume button to trigger recording turned on, as well as the trigger recording indicator to have beeper and flash. When you see the flash, you know you're recording. Now the transmitter themselves do have an onboard noise cancellation or background noise cancellation. You can most likely hear the cicadas kind of chirping around here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. This is on the strong setting. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how much it takes it away, and this is how much it's going to digitally kind of affect my voice. It does have a weak setting that you can go into the Lark Sound app on your smartphone to turn it on. So let's see what the weak noise cancellation sounds like. So this is the weak noise cancellation, and this is how it affects my voice. Hopefully it doesn't digitally distort it too much. I would say that in terms of noise cancellation, I would probably just leave it on weak because I want my voice to come through as best as possible. But otherwise, if you're not in a rush where you have to turn around the content super quick, I would say you're better off just using your NLE's voice isolation or AI background noise cancellation. Now, all of that sounds great and all, but let's go into a more kind of controlled environment so that we can test it against the Rode Wireless Me and the DJI Mic 2. This is a test of the Holly Landlark M2 in a somewhat sound-treated situation, as I am talking straight into a sound blanket. This is the test of the Rode Wireless Me in a semi-sound treated environment, as I am talking straight into a sound blanket. This is a test of the DJI Mic 2 in a semi-sound treated environment, as I am talking straight into a sound blanket. You done messed up, Aaron! You done messed up, Aaron! You done messed up, Aaron! Now the system does come with a Windmuff, but the design of it leaves a little bit to be desired because number one, it's comically big and it's not easy to put on. It will take you quite a few tries to get it on. But in terms of its performance, it does do quite well. So right now I am at the lakeside. There's always a constant wind coming, so I'm going to put this microphone in a couple different situations to see how the wind reacts with the capsule when it's outside of my shirt, inside of my shirt, as well as the wind muff. So here we go. So here I am right now with the microphone on the outside of my shirt and got a nice little steady amount of wind coming at me. So I'll let you guys kind of hear that. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the noise cancellation. And now I have the microphone where it's underneath my shirt. This should basically give you a little bit of wind resistance, so this is what it sounds like. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the noise cancellation. So this is if I'm talking with the noise cancellation on, and also, again, with a nice constant breeze blowing right at the microphone. All right, now I'm wearing the big, huge, furry wind muff. Again, this is the wind coming right at me, so this is what it sounds like. Let's go ahead and turn on that noise cancellation. In terms of operational distance, because it's so small, I would say its performance is that of a Gen 1 2.4 gigahertz wireless audio system. What do I mean by that? It means that if you are outdoors in the worst possible situation and there's no buildings around you to reflect your radio signal back to the receiver, then yes, with pure line of sight, you can get 300 feet, no problem. And this is with line of sight. Again, there's no reason you would have to be this far away to get an audio signal. You might as well just get a self-recorder, but otherwise, this is what you can expect from 300 feet away. Now, if you're 10 feet away and you decide to turn around, or maybe somebody kind of blocks your signal, that's where it can get a little dicey. 1, 2, 3, boom. So this is approximately 10 feet away from the camera, which is probably as far as you're ever going to be, but I'll go ahead and turn around. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2 feet away. This is probably as far as you're ever going to really be in this kind of situation, but here we go again. It kind of depends. Again, in the worst possible scenario where you're outdoors in that environment, then yeah, 10 feet away, turned around, it's not going to do so well. It might cut out here and there. But if you were next to a couple buildings, then it would do fine. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3. So this is 10 feet away. Now, some people kind of misunderstand the worst case scenario when I say that there's nothing to reflect signals back to your phone. So they think that, oh, it's just not gonna work good outdoors with no line of sight. That's not the case. Again, if you're near structures, they can reflect it back. So watch. I have my back turned now from 10 feet away, and as you'll notice that the sound signal is actually still here compared to my other test. So let's go even further. 1, 2, 3, boom, 20 feet. This is 30 feet, 40 feet, and now I am 50 feet away. Again, you can still hear me because I have a structure to my right, structure to my left. I even have a structure right in front of me, and it's all reflecting the radio signals back to the phone. So again, outdoor situations is completely dependent on whether or not you are near structures that can potentially reflect the signal back to your receiver. Taking that same concept, if you are indoors and for whatever reason find yourself needing to record your audio in the next room with wooden walls, then that's going to be fine too. I'll show you here right now. So here I am walking out of my office and going into the next adjacent room. You should be able to hear me. I have closed the door behind me. Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2. For those of you that would like to use your Lark M2 system with a traditional receiver that has a 3.5 millimeter output, they do have a receiver for that, either in the combo kit or just on its own. And it's very simple, it's very small, not really hard to operate. You have your charging port, USB-C on the side. This also does work as a USB interface. So yes, you can plug this into your computer straight away. We have a power button, and then we have a multi-purpose button that allows you to switch between mono and stereo or link the system to another transmitter. And then on the other side, we of course have the 3.5 millimeter jack. There's a couple LED status lights here, and there's not a whole lot going on. On the top, we can determine if your transmitters are paired. And then we have 3 little ones over here that basically give you your volume output. We have low, medium, and high, and it's controlled with this jog wheel. Now, this jog wheel is very, very loose in that it doesn't take much to switch it. So I guess from a design standpoint, I feel like the jogging wheel is not very necessary because, yeah, it could potentially accidentally switch between the volume outputs. But I would say maybe in the future, it'd be nice if you just had a button, just one single button that cycled through low, medium, and high. I think that would work just fine. But other than that, that's kind of a nitpick because I don't really think you're going to be moving the jog wheel all that often when it's on your camera, but just something for you to know. So what's the bottom line here? Who is this microphone actually for? And I would say it is for someone that is a beginner and they just need good audio that they can use either in a studio environment or even in a vlogging environment like this. And it's just because the thing is so small, so simple, the sound quality is amazing, and it's just fun to use. All the extra features, like if it's plugged into your smartphone like I am right now, I can double click and have this thing trigger recording from afar. I mean, I've done that for this entire video and it's just so fun to use. And then also you take the fact that the battery life between the 2 transmitters, you can, if you're a solo vlogger, you basically can go all day. So, are there any cons with this microphone? There's a very tiny one. It's a nitpick at this moment in time, so I don't want you to think that it is a deal breaker, but it is the fact that it is magnetically attached only. So what I mean by this is maybe you are wearing a single strap messenger bag, and if you move it, that band could probably go underneath the lip of the microphone and then pop it off, and you might not know that it did. Or maybe someone just brushes their hand across your chest aggressively, then yeah, they could easily just pluck this microphone off. But I mean, that being said, the magnet is super strong. Like if I shake the crap out of that shirt, like it's not coming off. So I would say if you are a little concerned that it could pop off easily, then I would say just have the microphone on the inside of your shirt. You should be fine. And also you get that added benefit of having basically like a built-in wind muff. And that's just gonna help you in terms of getting a nice, clean, usable audio. And then lastly, of course, the noise cancellation. That is a good thing to have just in case, but if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. So at the end of the day, yes, I highly recommend you buy this microphone if you're looking for one. Go ahead and use my purchase links down below. That does help support the channel, and I thank you for that. Like and subscribe, and also don't forget to check out TLDR Film School, where you can learn everything about filmmaking for $30. I will see you guys in the next one.